The worst period in history you would not survive. Throughout history, the Earth has undergone many changes, from extensive ice ages to warm periods. However, few moments in Earth's history have been more dangerous than the Jurassic Period, 150 million years ago. This period within the Mesozoic era was marked by a massive expansion of the largest predators ever known, which were present in every ecosystem on the planet. Predators ruled the earth, the sea, and the air, so we would not be safe no matter where we went. How dangerous would it have been for humans to live in this era? And most importantly, was there a safe place? Join us to find out. Let's use our imagination and suppose we can travel back 150 million years to the Jurassic Period. What is the first thing we would notice? In addition to immense forests stretching to the horizon, we would also notice that the geography would be completely unrecognizable. 150 million years ago, during the Jurassic Period, the Earth had a drastically different geographical and climatic configuration than today. The supercontinent Pangaea, which had dominated the Paleozoic and early Mesozoic, was in an advanced fragmentation process. This division gave rise to two large landmasses: Laurasia, which comprised the regions that are now North America, Europe, and Asia, and Gondwana, which included South Africa, Africa, India, Australia, and Antarctica. This means that no modern map would be helpful to you. The continents were separated by shallow warm seas such as the Tethys Sea, a vast expanse of sea that occupied the area where the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and part of Southeast Asia now meet. The continental arrangement reduced the surface areas of emerged land, representing about 30% of the planet, similar to the current percentage, but with a low average altitude. Great Plains, older mountain systems, and limited mountain range development dominated the terrestrial landscape. The warm and uniform climate with no ice caps at the poles led to higher sea levels and a wide distribution of coastlines and lagoons. With abundant humidity, tropical and subtropical climates predominated, which favored the proliferation of dense forests of giant ferns, cycads, and conifers. Global temperatures were average 5 to 10 degrees Celsius warmer than today, with mild winters and intense summers. Biological diversity reached extraordinary levels, dominated by dinosaurs on land, marine reptiles such as Ichthyosaurs and Plesiosaurs in the oceans, and Pterosaurs in the skies. The first modern ecosystems began to take shape, marked by the early evolution of birds such as Archaeopteryx and the diversification of early mammals. This period represented a pivotal moment in the planet's history, laying the groundwork for subsequent ecosystems. However, not only did the planet look different, but the stars in the sky were also different. The Moon moves away from Earth by 3 centimeters per year. This means that 150 million years ago, the Moon was much closer, causing the days to be shorter. On full moon nights, the light reflected by the Moon is much more intense, providing a massive source of night light that perhaps allows animals to see without difficulty at night. If you are passionate about constellations, you will be surprised when you would like to use them to know your location, since you will not recognize any constellation. The stars that make up the constellations move slowly, but after many years, they change drastically. Approximately every 50,000 years, the constellations are no longer recognizable. This means that the dinosaurs that inhabited the Earth 150 million years ago saw different constellations than the ones we see today. It is a planet with different continents, moon, and stars. Traveling to the Jurassic Period would feel more like traveling to another planet. At the time, two vast bodies of water dominated the planet: the Pacific Ocean, which was already the largest expanse of ocean and occupied much of the Western Hemisphere, and the Tethys Sea, a vast warm sea that separated the continental masses of Laurasia and Gondwana. The latter corresponded to what is now the Mediterranean region and part of Southeast Asia. Jurassic ocean temperatures were significantly warmer than today, with estimated averages of 20 to 25 degrees Celsius even in regions farther from the equator. This was due to the absence of ice sheets at the poles and a less differentiated ocean circulation, which allowed for an even distribution of heat. The oceans were rich in life, with abundant ammonites, ichthyosaurs, and plesiosaurs. Water covered approximately 70% of the Earth's surface as it is today, but the sea level was higher due to the absence of large glacial layers. The predominant climates were tropical and subtropical, with high humidity and regular rainfall. This environment favored the diversification of marine and terrestrial ecosystems, establishing a unique balance between biodiversity and geology in Earth's history. Another aspect to highlight is the Tamu Massif, an underwater supervolcano discovered in the western Pacific Ocean and considered one of the largest volcanoes in Earth's history. Formed during the early Jurassic, its volcanic activity would have released vast amounts of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, contributing to the global warming of the time. This supervolcano covered an area similar to that of the British Isles, and its eruption probably altered the ocean's chemistry, favoring biodiversity adapted to warm waters. The tectonic activity associated with the Tamu Massif also shaped the ocean floors, influencing ocean currents and distributing heat more evenly. On the Earth's surface, the main terrestrial predator was not the iconic Tyrannosaurus rex, which would appear millions of years later in the Cretaceous, but the Allosaurus. This carnivorous dinosaur dominated ecosystems approximately 150 million years ago. This formidable predator could reach up to 39 feet long and weigh around 2 tons. It was more agile than its evolutionary predecessors. The Allosaurus had a skull and powerful jaws filled with curved, serrated teeth designed to tear flesh. Its relatively short arms were equipped with sharp claws that it used to hold its prey. It was an active hunter capable of reaching speeds of 30 to 35 kilometers per hour, which made it very dangerous. Remember that most humans cannot run faster than 20 kilometers per hour, so we would be easy prey for an Allosaurus. This carnivorous predator hunted mainly herbivorous dinosaurs such as Diplodocus and Camarasaurus. Some paleontologists believe Allosaurus hunted in groups, using harassment tactics to weaken its prey before attacking it with precision. It could also resort to scavenging. Allosaurus was a dangerous predator because of its size, strength, speed, and ability to take down much larger prey. If you get into your time machine to visit this era and have the bad luck of coming face to face with an Allosaurus, you better take a high-caliber machine gun with you. Otherwise, you won't come out of that confrontation alive. However, while Allosaurus was the most common predator, it wasn't the largest. That title belongs to SauroPhaganax maximus, known as the lizard-eating ruler. Just by hearing the name, we know that meeting one would not be pleasant. The SauroPhaganax maximus was probably the largest predator of the late Jurassic, surpassing Allosaurus in size. This giant theropod, considered a possible species of Allosaurus or a genus of its own, reached up to 42 feet in length and weighed an estimated 4 tons, placing it at the top of the food chain. Hang on a sec before we continue. If you are enjoying this video, we invite you to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future videos. Leave your like and share this video with your friends. The SauroPhaganax had a large, robust skull with jaws equipped with sharp, serrated teeth adapted for tearing flesh. Its hind limbs were muscular, wallowing to reach speeds of up to 25 to 30 kilometers per hour, enough to hunt herbivorous dinosaurs such as Diplodocus or Camarasaurus, both of which were faster than humans. Although it was slower than other smaller predators, its size and strength gave it an advantage when ambushing its prey. Although it is possible that it employed solitary hunting tactics, some paleontologists suggest that it may have hunted in groups to take down giant prey. If the SauroPhaganax had coexisted with humans, it would have posed a devastating threat. Its enormous size, speed, and ability to easily tear flesh would make it nearly impossible to combat with primitive tools. Remember how if you had a machine gun with you, you might have been able to defend yourself against an Allosaurus? Against a SauroPhaganax, that wouldn't be enough, because with such a large body and such a thick skin, bullets may not slow it down in its attack, and it would devour you as you try to defend yourself. In addition to these two giant predators, smaller ones could threaten time-traveling humans. One of them would be Ceratosaurus, which was up to 22 feet long and weighs close to 1 ton. It is smaller than other Jurassic predators, but no less dangerous. Its distinctive horn on its skull and long tail provided balance. It could run up to 35 kilometers per hour and hunted medium prey, including carrion. Its curved, sharp teeth were designed to tear flesh quickly. Another large predator was the Torvosaurus, one of the largest carnivores of its time, reaching 10 meters in length and weighing about 2 tons. With powerful jaws filled with large serrated teeth, it was a hunter capable of taking down giant herbivores such as Stegosaurus. Due to its weight, its strategy probably included ambushes and short pursuits. Humans would be just one more prey for this enormous reptile. Native to Asia, YangChanousaurs was another predator to watch out for. It could grow up to 32 feet long and weigh about 3 tons. With a robust build, it was an opportunistic hunter, using speed approximately 30 kilometers per hour and strength to subdue large herbivores or attack in groups. If these predators had coexisted with humans, they would have posed a constant threat. Their size, strength, and hunting strategies would make it nearly impossible to escape or defend themselves, especially in open terrain. It should not be forgotten that, although predators are the greatest threat, herbivores would not be harmless. Many herbivorous animals are now more dangerous than some carnivorous animals, such as the hippopotamus, which kills more people per year than tigers and lions combined. Following this logical thread, the herbivorous dinosaurs of the Jurassic Period could be a terrible threat to humans, especially since most of them were gigantic. Some sauropods, such as Diplodocus or Brachiosaurus, were up to 88 feet long and weighed 30 tons. Walking near one of these gigantic animals would be risky. One misstep and they could have killed us by accidentally stepping on us. Everything indicates that humans would have been easy prey on the surface during the Jurassic Period. But how about we go to the water? In the water, things were no better. They were much, much worse. During the Jurassic Period, the oceans were home to some of the most formidable predators. These aquatic animals, with perfect adaptations for hunting, would have been hazardous to humans if they had coexisted simultaneously. Plesiosaurus. This animal was between 9.8 and 13 feet long and weighed around 300 to 500 kilograms. Its long neck, hydrodynamic body, and large fins allowed it to move gracefully in the water. Although it probably hunted fish and cephalopods, its hunting method was based on the speed and precision of its movements. For humans, a close encounter would have resulted in a swift and lethal attack, but with a chance of survival. We would not have had the same luck if we ran into a Plesiosaurus head-on. This close relative of Plesiosaurus was much larger and more dangerous. It reached up to 42 feet long and weighed more than 10 tons. With a vast skull and jaws capable of crushing bones, it fed on large marine reptiles and fish. Its quick and powerful ambushes made it a dominant predator from which it was almost impossible to escape. If you came across a Plesiosaurus, what would you do? Please leave us your answers in the comments. Next on the list was the Ichthyosaur, similar to modern dolphins. It could move at 40 kilometers per hour and was up to 19 feet long. Its diet consisted of fish and squid. Of all those mentioned so far, the Liopleurodon was undoubtedly the terror of the ocean. Considered one of the Jurassic apex predators, it measured up to 32 feet and weighed more than 5 tons. Its massive jaws and agility made it relentless, capable of hunting marine sauropods and other reptiles. Could a human being escape the attack of a Liopleurodon? Although dinosaurs were a constant danger in the water, they were not the only threat we should be wary of, as crocodiles already existed at this time. The Latossuchians were reptiles similar to present-day marine crocodiles, but some, like Metriorhynchus, were up to 16 feet long. With jaws full of sharp teeth, they hunted fish, but were also strong enough to hunt larger prey. If you have your time machine and decide to visit this time, you should avoid exploring the seas, as the lethal attack is highly likely. But if the earth and water were not safe during the Jurassic, what about the air? Well, during the Jurassic, the sky was dominated by animals that were very well adapted to hunting, and even to the enormous reptiles of the time were constantly in danger. The most famous of them all is the Pterosaur. Pterosaurs were the first vertebrates to develop active flight. Some species, such as Rhamphorhynchus, had wingspans of up to 2 meters and weighed around 20 kilograms. Their jaws were filled with sharp teeth designed to catch fish and small animals. Their airspeed was estimated at 50 to 60 kilometers per hour, allowing them to make quick ambushes. Although it was not big enough to hunt a human, their claws and beaks could cause serious injuries. But perhaps the most dangerous of all would be the largest flying animal of that time, the Lusognathus. This flying pterosaur had a wingspan of more than 9.9 feet and a long, sharp beak ideal for piercing prey. The Lusognathus fed mainly on fish but could also hunt small reptiles or larger mammals. It was agile and precise in flight, being a formidable predator that would put any time traveler who faced them in trouble. To wrap up, during the Jurassic, the sky, the sea, and the land were full of predators, so there was no place to hide. Now we want to know your opinion. Tell us, what would you do if you met one of the predators we mentioned in this video? Which of them did you find the most interesting? Let us know in the comments.